Facebook side and on our podcast side. All right, we're going to move on to the NFC East. The NFC now. Start in the NFC East. I'll start in the NFC East because I want you to wrap up with the NFC West because that's where your Seattle Seahawks are.
All right.
So we're going to start with the NFC East. Get that timer up. Then Philadelphia Eagles, I'm going to have them. I have them in the first place. They're looking to start a dynasty, and amid all the personnel losses, I mentioned Milton Williams on the defensive line. He's a big loss. Josh Sweat, he goes to Arizona. Numerous position losses, but they extend Saquon Barkley. They awarded him with a huge contract extension in the offseason. They also awarded Zach Bond, their excellent linebacker who, for some reason, the New Orleans Saints cast away, and he was damn near close to becoming an MVP of the MVP of the Super Bowl. I forgot I had your comments lined up, folks. I'll get to them after we do our NFC East preview. So yeah, the Eagles, they're starting to build a dynasty. I think they're still the team to beat in the NFC. In second place, I've got Washington. Last season surprise. Had the Commanders loading up for a potential run in the offseason. They bring in Deebo Samuel. They bring in Von Miller, some veteran experience to help out Jaden Daniels, who is looking to avoid the sophomore slump himself. I think he's going to continue his upward trend because this offense is really, he's good in this offense, and this defense is going to help him a lot with Dan Quinn scheming for them. This is the battle for third place in this NFC East division. I think the New York Giants are going to be in third place at the end of the season. Defense is going to be elite, especially the front seven and at edge. You got Kayvon Thibodeau on one side, Abdul Carter on the other side. Giants offense, a lot of question marks, including at running back. I like Cam Scatterbo, but he's no Saquon Barkley.
No.
But I also have to wonder if we're going to see Jackson Dart play quarterback sooner than later, because they jumped up back into the first round to grab him because they liked what he saw, and we'll see what happens from there. It could go either way for the Giants. Could be great. It could suck. and in last place, I've got the Dallas Cowboys. They're going to score a lot of points with CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens, and Jake Ferguson. But after this trade for Micah Parsons, they're also going to allow a lot of points. They're also going to lose a lot of games. That's my outlook for the NFC East. Dustin, what's yours?
Ryan, I did not hire you I don't like those takes. I like these guys in Dallas. I hire them. They say good things about me. All right. So NFC East. Philly is still the class of this division, and possibly, indefinitely the NFC and possibly the entire NFL. Saquon, a lot of people are like, Saquon cannot replicate what he did last year. I agree, but guess what? Regression from Saquon's season last year, still going to be very, very good, okay? And then even if he does regress, they have too many weapons everywhere on both sides of the ball. Even with some of their key departures, the Eagles are at the stage now where they just retool. They keep this machine going. And Jalen Hurts is still good, everybody. Sorry, I had to do it. He gets too much hate. Number 2, I have Washington. I think Jaden Daniels, he's going to, like you said, he's going to continue his upward trajectory. I really think he is a star in the NFL. I think he's really going to keep just making that leap. I know that makes D. Willie, friend of the show, Drew Willingham, very happy. They will not shock people like they did last year, but they will nip at Philly all season. They re-signed McLaurin. They had to do it. We don't know what the running game is going to be like because of the surprising trade of Brian Robinson Jr. Previously, they're starting back, but they also added Ayuk at wide receiver. And I think that their defense will continue to improve under Dan Quinn. He he knows how to build a defense. Doesn't always know how to hold leads with those defenses, but he knows how to build one. This is where we differ a little bit, Ryan. I have Dallas at number 3 in this division. The only reason I put them here is I believe Dak is still a better QB than any of the Giants' options at this stage in their careers. CD will be their offense as it was last year. He was their entire offense, and it still won them some games, but maybe George Pickens helps if he can keep his head on. We still don't know who the Cowboys have at running back, and their defense took a massive step back, letting Micah Parsons go, but I still think you line them up next to each other. I give Dallas's offense the edge. The Giants will look better. They are one of the hardest teams to predict, in my opinion, when doing things like this. They have a great pass rush, and I like the perspective combo of Cam Scatterbo and Tyrone Tracy, although you said it's not Saquon, nor will they ever be, but they could do something at running back. Malik is going to be elite. I think he continues to ascend, but their O-line will not be able to protect Russell Wilson, Jameis, or Jackson Dart. I don't care who it is when we see them. They will not be protected. The Giants' pass rush got through that offensive line in record time. In a clip I saw from the preseason, Russ was in the second step of his 3-step drop, and there were already 3 Giants rushers in the backfield. So that's going to be tough.
Well, also, I mean, the fact that the fun part is the fact that he's not facing them. All right, we're gonna move on to the NFC North, and Dustin, 5 minutes are on the clock. Let's go.
All right, the NFC North. So I have Detroit finishing number 1 in this division. It's going to be a dogfight, but I think Detroit still gets there. Despite their losses, I still believe they are the class of this division. Jared Goff has proven it for multiple seasons now, okay? I don't want to hear the Jared Goff haters coming out. He was one of the most accurate QBs in the entire NFL last year. He was great for the second year in a row. He's proven it. Dan Campbell understands him. He understands Dan Campbell. Their wide receiver corps is good. Their running back situation is good. And if Aiden stays healthy, he can change a game. I think Detroit, they lost their OC and their DC, but I think they still can hang on to it. I think Jameson Williams, this is the year that he really finally puts it together and becomes that steady number 2 and possibly 1A, in some games. Number 2, I have Green Bay. Don't worry, Packers fans. The defense is obviously massively improved with the additions of Parsons, and they were already good last year. Josh Jacobs is great, but will he be able to continue his great run in Green Bay? This is the year that Jordan Love has to prove it. This is on Jordan Love now. You can't say he doesn't have any receivers because the Packers finally drafted a wide receiver for him that a lot of people like, and they used a first-round pick to do it. Jordan Love, you've got to cut down on the interceptions. You've been brilliant at times, but you throw too many interceptions. I'll say it till I'm blue in the face. Minnesota is at number 3 in this division. J.J. McCarthy is a complete unknown, but you still have Justin Jefferson, and Aaron Jones will be a solid head of an running back by committee. T.J. Hawkinson will also bail McCarthy out in some tough situations down by the goal line. What really hurts Minnesota for me is their defense, to me, is a massive question mark. Number 4, Chicago. Sorry, Caleb will do better under Ben Johnson, and they've made some upgrades to the offensive line to try to protect Caleb Williams a little better, but is it going to be enough? I mean, they added Joe Thuney, but last year Caleb was sacked a ton. Will Rome Odunze become a true number 2 wide receiver behind DJ Moore? Who knows? I think the Bears will improve, but they're still last in this division for me.
All right. Like I said, this is bold takes.
Yeah.
Bold takes. Predictions.
You've been a little bolder than I
got Green Bay win the North.
Oh, Kings of the North.
Julie from Michigan's going to hate me, but I got Green Bay winning the North based on the fact that Micah Parsons is going to be a big difference maker in this defense. Even though I think I said they were 9th in sacks last season. With him in the lineup, that total is going to go up. That total is going up. But even with a solid defense, is Jordan Love going to step it up to be an elite quarterback after December? And I also wonder about their offensive line. It's thin. It's a very thin offensive line. They had a lot of injuries last year. David Bakari is gone. Surprised he didn't wind up in Pittsburgh with his boy Aaron Rodgers. But I think comparing the schedule between them and Detroit, I have them finishing second, a very close second. They lost Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn in the offseason. I think they slip a little bit, but not by much. I think Dan Campbell, his leadership, biting the kneecaps. I think he's looking to help make up for that really disappointing finish of last season. But here's the thing with Detroit. They're the front end of that schedule in front of that. So for the first 10 games of the year, they're playing against 7 playoff teams in their first 10 weeks in 2024 or 2025. That is going to be a rough beginning. Although I think they'll do well, it's going to be very tough for the first. They got to do really well in that 10 game stretch at the beginning of the year. Now, the one thing that they have an advantage over the Packers have a bye week in week 5. They have a very early bye week. And Detroit, looking at their schedule, they have a bye week in week 8. So they could be healthier. But moving quickly on to the Minnesota Vikings, they're a solid team. JJ McCarthy, no relation. He'll have some growing pains at rookie after Justin Jefferson. They don't have a wide receiver too. Jordan Addison suspended for the first 4 games of the year. Yeah. Rondell Moore's out for the season. Their defense, suspect. Very, very suspect. In Chicago, Bears are just like the Raiders, the Bears and the Browns, they are who they are. The more things change, the more things stay the same. And my big question mark is, will Caleb Williams become the first ever 4,000-yard season passer thanks to the addition of offensive guru Ben Johnson as their head coach? No, they have never had a quarterback finish with over 4,000 yards in a season. Could happen this year. But they got to find a steady number 2 after DJ Moore, who's not even a solid number 1 in my mind. All right, moving on to the NFC South. I'll start off. Tampa Bay, they'll be the class of the division. It'll be kind of a tough start with Tristan Wirfs being out for the first couple weeks of the season after knee surgery. But they'll also need to overcome a tough schedule to remain on top. I have some questions about their depth at defense. Is Hassan Reddick? Yes, that guy. Is he enough at edge for the Buccaneers to put together a better pass rush? Although you could argue Todd Bowles knows how to scheme a defense, even with some question marks at depth. Carolina is my dark horse team to challenge for the division. Ooh. Bryce Young put together late in 2024 after he got benched early in the season. That seemed to help him. And he'll be helped by a better defense and new receivers and Tetro and McMillan and Hunter Renfrow. He was back on the team. He signed a contract over the weekend. And he'll also be aided by a solid run game featuring Canada's own Chuba Hubbard. Had a solid season last year. Atlanta, although the Falcons and Stacey Morgan from the Morgan Man podcast, shout out to him. He's our Falcons guy at Belly Up Sports. Man, they improved defensively. They bring in Jalen Walker and they bring in James Pierce to bolster that pass rush. But the season's going to lie on the shoulders of Michael Penix Jr. And this group has woefully underperformed since they all came together. Bijan Robinson, Drake London, and Kyle Pitts. You see his name so much. is going to have a breakout season. Can this group finally put it together after so much disappointment since they all came together? And then finally, last place, I've got New Orleans. Currently, the best quarterback is head coach Kellen Moore. Not much to say about this team, other than that they may finish the bottom of the league in 2025. And also, how soon do we see Spencer Rattler switched out for rookie Tyler Shugg, who actually, believe it or not, Tyler Shugg is older than Spencer Rattler.
Oh, man.
Fun fact. So that's my outlook for the NFC South. Over to you, Dustin.
All right, the NFC South. This is where we differ a little bit, Ryan. This is probably my spiciest take.
Mm-hmm.
I believe in Atlanta. They take this division this year. This is the year they do it. I like Michael Penix. I think he figures it out. I think he really does start to figure it out. And I think a real offensive coordinator will effectively use their weapons. Yes, I did just, insult you, Arthur Smith. But I think Bijan goes off. He was good last year. He was very good. He did tail off a little bit. But I think the second year of Raheem Morris, he starts to figure this out. I think that Drake London is going to have a better season. We may get a couple of Kyle Pitts sightings, but I've learned not to trust in that. I will not trust in this, but defensively, I think Raheem Morris shores this unit up enough and they improve enough. They take this division. Why do you ask? Because I have Tampa Bay finishing at number 2. This is no shame to Baker Mayfield. I still love what he's doing. I know there's the rookie wide receiver that everybody's very high on there. But here's the thing. I think Baker regresses a bit, as will Bucky Irving. Bucky Irving took the NFL by storm when he came in, and he took the job from Rachaad White. They still have Rachaad White, but I think Bucky Irving, he doesn't quite set the world on fire like he did last year. Mike Evans will finally start to show his age and regress a little bit, and Chris Godwin will not return until week 5 or 6. I said the other night on Seahawks Sessions, week 9, I was way off about that, but I knew he was still recovering from injury. It's week 5 or 6 at the earliest that Chris Godwin returns. That's a lot of time without a star number 2/1A. Number 3, I have Carolina. Will Bryce Young build on last year's success at the end of the season? I think so, but I think the Thielen trade hurts him a little more than you know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see what Hunter Renfrow can do, and also the rookie receiver that you mentioned that everybody's very high on in Carolina. I think they continue to build, but I think they're still on the outside. Number 4, New Orleans. Geez, what can you say? This league is a QB-driven league. They don't really have one right now. They still have some talent. They have Alvin Kamara. They have Chris Olave, but their QB situation is possibly the worst in the NFL. It will be a long year for New Orleans. I'm sorry, Saints fans.
And the wide receiver you're looking for at Tampa Bay is Emeka Egbuka from Ohio. I'm not going to. No, wait. No, I'm not going to say it. From Ohio State. I'm not saying the Ohio State. Screw you guys. Hate Ohio State. All right. Last division. We'll get to your comments. Then we'll go over our predictions for playoff teams. NFC West. To my co-host who knows this division the best. 5 minutes are on the clock. Let's go.
Well, I don't know if I know it the best, but it is the home of my beloved Seahawks. Okay. So at number 1, I still have the LA Rams. Now, I understand a lot of this is contingent on the health of Matthew Stafford's back. But if his back is good, he's still the best quarterback in this division. I will never underestimate Sean McVay again. I've done it. I've done it in years past. I've underestimated the Rams. And when they've lost some talent and they've turned around and been better. So I will never underestimate a Sean McVay coach team again. Their defense surprised many last year. They will not surprise people this year the way they did last year, but they will still be good. They still have Matthew Stafford, Kyron Williams, Puka Nacua, and I like the Devontae Adams addition. I think he will be a comparable number 2 there because Puka Nacua is the unquestioned number 1 now. Number 2, this is where some people are going to think I'm crazy. You can call me a homer if you want, but the Seahawks are
the button ready. The button
yes,
ready. There
yes.
it is. Homer alert.
Call me a homer if you want, but the Seahawks are zigging instead of zagging again. They will emphasize the run when a lot of this league is turning its entire focus to the pass. The Seahawks are going to go the other direction. And I know it's preseason, okay? I know it's preseason, but if it works the way it did in the preseason, their offense will shock people. They were running all over people in the preseason. The offensive line finally looks good. Hopefully, if everyone stays healthy, I'm looking at you, Abe Lucas and Charles Cross. If everyone stays healthy, they can finally have some continuity on the offensive line. I love the way Gray Zabel has played in the preseason. Hopefully, he keeps it up in the regular season. And I think if Cooper Kupp is healthy, JSN will leap again and continue his development, and Cooper Kupp will be an amazing number 2 and security option for Sam Darnold. They are protecting Sam Darnold. This defense is the real deal. Mike McDonald's building something here. Number 3, San Francisco. This is where I have San Fran going. They will not be as bad as they were last year. They were bit by the injury bug, and there was a little bit of chaos in San Fran. Brock will be good, but they have lost key wide receivers. Will Ricky Pearsall be able to step up? Will Christian McCaffrey be healthy? It's the last couple of years, it hasn't worked out for him. He's still dynamic when he's on the field, but that's the key phrase when he's on the field. San Francisco 49er running backs get injured. Their history with this is not good. Look it up. They deal with injuries at the position every year. It's why they went out and got Brian Robinson Jr. Arizona finishes last. They will be a tough out, though. Much like Pete's Raiders in the AFC West, I think in the NFC West, Jonathan Gannon's a good coach. I'll keep saying it because I truly believe it. Marvin Harrison needs to have a bigger role. Figure out how to get the ball to him this year, Kyler. Kyler will look good at points. He will occasionally be brilliant, but he'll also do some boneheaded things like say it's not his job to get his number 1 wide receiver the ball. It is your job, Kyler. It's exactly your job. James Conner will still be great at running back. Although he's not like a flashy pick, he is a workhorse. Arizona will be a tough out, but they still finish last in this division for me.
All right, I'll move quickly to my predictions. NFC West, this division runs through LA. Rams are healthy on both sides of the ball. But their success is going to rely on the health of Matthew Stafford. If Matthew Stafford's not healthy, your hope relies on, and so help me God, I'm not making this up, handsome Jimmy G.
Jimmy GQ.
Jimmy GQ. But I think they have all the horses to win this division. I've got the 49ers finishing in second place. They return to full strength to get the easiest schedule in 2025. They need some bodies in receiver. They have like no bodies at receiver. But regardless, Brock Purdy's here to stay and has not only one, but also not just one, but 2 reliable running backs in Christian McCaffrey and Brian Robinson Jr. I have Seattle finishing in third place very closely. Second season from the Mike McDonald era. With the new team and Sam Darnold, I think they could contend for the division. I think they could contend for a wild card, if not contend for the division. But their success relies on if Sam Darnold is the same Sam Darnold who played in Minnesota last season, minus the last 2 games of the season in Detroit and at Los Angeles, by proxy Arizona. So speaking of Arizona, I've got them in last place. Some critics, some pundits are saying that the Cardinals are the dark horse of this division. Others say they're going to finish last. This is a tough division. And they're going to finish last. And regardless of the fact that the Cardinals made some splashes on defense and free agency and the draft, they pick up Josh Sweat from Philadelphia. They bring in veteran Calais Campbell, the interior, and they drafted Walter Nolan. But I have to wonder if this is the last ride for one Kyler Murray. Is he the long-term answer at quarterback for the Cardinals? Because 1 minute you see him scramble around and throw a long touchdown. The next minute you see him to throw in the triple coverage and it's intercepted.
Yeah.
There is no in between. He's the Vernon Adams Jr. of the NFL. And if you don't know who Vernon Adams Jr. is, look him up.